Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reading from the r/just/no-mail subreddit. So let's jump into it. My sister wasn't home, but I heard her talking. My older sister is 19 and has always been super independent. She works 2 jobs to put herself through college and has always had a very strict sleep schedule that she sticks to religiously. She was off at university for the week, while our parents were out of town, so I hadn't seen her in a few days. My dad messaged me yesterday asking where she was because he couldn't get a hold of her. He said that it was weird because her phone went straight to voicemail and her work phone went straight to voicemail too. That was odd. I was just about to leave for work myself when I heard what sounded like an argument coming from upstairs. My sister and I have separate rooms, but they share a Jack and Jill bathroom. And when I was younger, I used to sneak into her room all the time through the bathroom. That bathroom is tiny with only one door and no window, and I could easily fit under the door, which I did countless times. Anyway, I started hearing this very heated discussion and I just stopped what I was doing and listened. It sounded like it was my sister on the other side of the door. Her voice was raised and she was responding to someone else who sounded male. I couldn't hear what was being said, but it was obviously getting more and more intense. There was banging and commotion going on. I stood there listening for a good minute, before it occurred to me that maybe I should knock the door and check up on her. After all, we were alone in the house and the front door was locked. So how could someone be in the bathroom arguing with my sister? Just then, the commotion outside the bathroom stopped and everything went silent. A minute passed and then my sister's door opened. It was my mom. She looked completely fine. She didn't look flustered or stressed like you would expect after a fight. She asked me if I'd seen my sister, and I told her that I hadn't. She seemed surprised by that and asked when I last saw her. I told her that I'd seen her a few days ago. When our parents were still in town, she must have gotten home last night while I was asleep. As my mom walked past me, I noticed that she was holding a suitcase. It was small, but it was definitely big enough that you would be able to fit it under the bathroom door. I knew for a fact that my sister doesn't even own a suitcase. It suddenly occurred to me that this might have been a very inappropriate thing to do. But I followed my mom out of the bathroom and into the kitchen, where she set the suitcase down. I told her that I had gotten a bit worried, because I'd heard someone in there yelling and she gave me a weird look and asked if I'd actually knocked. I admitted that I hadn't, and that it was probably none of my business anyway. She told me that it wasn't anything to worry about and that I should go to work. I tried to get back to my day, but it was really hard to focus. The whole situation was just unsettling to me. So against my better judgment, I decided to text my sister to see if everything was okay. Since she was in college, I rarely got to talk to her, and when I did, it was usually over text because she was busy with classes or work. So it wasn't out of character for her to not respond right away. Still, though, it felt like hours before I finally got a response. She apologized for not replying sooner and said that she was just finishing up something important. She asked how I was doing, and I told her that I was fine, but I couldn't help but feel that there was something going on. She suggested that we FaceTime later, and I agreed. Well, she never called. It's now been 2 days since my mom came home with a mysterious suitcase, and my sister still has unreplied. I keep trying to call her, and the calls go straight to voicemail. I've also tried texting and emailing, but those haven't gone through either. At this point, I'm starting to get worried. It's not like her to ignore us, and it's especially weird considering that she would normally be excited to see us again. Well, I can tell you that Op's concerns were absolutely valid, and OP definitely did the right thing by calling his dad and telling him what happened. OP updated my sister's boyfriend, who's 22, broke up with her. He apparently drove home from college to do it. According to my mom, she and my sister had a huge fight last night, and he broke up with her. Packed up his stuff, threw it in his car, and left. I don't know the details of what they were fighting about, but I guess that it got pretty bad. I was extremely relieved to hear that everything was okay. My sister is stubborn as hell, and I was worried that she might hurt herself if she got really upset. Thankfully, it seems like she'll be all right. Also, Op, I think that it was great that you checked in on your sister. You might have stopped whatever she was doing, but you also could have potentially saved her life. Sometimes people don't realize how serious their problems are until it's too late. And if your sister was in danger, you could have been the one to save her. I also want to say that I think that your mom handled the situation appropriately. Instead of letting OP know what was happening, she tried to protect him and make sure that he didn't get involved. She didn't want him to walk in on her and her daughter fighting. and it's understandable why she didn't want him to see his sister with a broken heart. It sounds like your mom cares deeply for both you and your sister, and she wants what's best for you both. So next time you hear some commotion coming from your sister's bathroom, I recommend knocking on the door and checking in on her. It may be awkward, but it could end up saving her life. So, I'm glad that you checked in on your sister, and I'm glad that she's safe. And I'm also glad that your mom was there for her. I'm giving this story a 4 out of 5. What about you, Reddit? What would you have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this story, please remember to check out my podcast, where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you like my content, you can follow me on social media. And if you enjoy reading, feel free to check out my book reviews on a website. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next Reddit story. Bye.